All right, guys, this is going to be a quick walkthrough of Adobe Dimension. I'm going to walk you through the interface, talk to you about Dimension's capabilities, and then the next video, we'll actually build something out together. So when you open Dimension, and you may have not opened Dimension before, but it's this little green icon with the D and the N on it. This is the window that will open. In your Explore area here, you have a quick Welcome to Dimension video. I highly recommend watching that. It'll just give you a quick walkthrough of Dimension's capabilities. And then the next thing that I highly recommend, I actually did this myself just as a quick refresher for the new Dimension updates, is the interactive tour for Dimension. If you click Take Tour, it will open up a document for you and it will walk you through each step by step of using and modeling something in Dimension. So again, it's a great refresher. I highly recommend doing that in addition to the tutorial that I'm going to do with you guys. So with Dimension, we're going to create new, and it's going to open up our work area here. A quick note on Dimension. Dimension is a 3D modeling program made to be more user-friendly for designers, people that are prototyping, all sorts of products. It can be used for graphic design, industrial design, a little bit of interior design as well. It has a lot of different capabilities. So in Dimension, your main area that you're going to be concerned with, this is your work area where you'll be dragging your assets to. This is the design area. You have a home and then you have render. So design is where you're going to create all your assets, and then render is where you will go to export them to get them as images, or even files that you can take and edit into Photoshop. Our main tool that we're going to be using is our select tool. And that will allow you to obviously make selections, but it'll allow you to edit different areas of the objects that you're working with. So because we're in a 3D space, we are working with the X, Y, and Z axis. So we're employing a little bit more of that geometry here. And in our left panel, so everything that you will need to create assets, or when you import assets, they will show up here. So we start with basic shapes. We have models, which are different items that we can edit and prototype and make our own. You'll notice there's all sorts of packaging things here, boxes, objects, home decor, even clothing like beach towels, t-shirts, all sorts of items, and then just basic generic shapes. And then here we have materials. So when we are modifying our objects, we will apply materials to them, and those materials are available here. You're not limited to what you see here. You can actually edit these and make them your own, and we'll cover that in the next video. We also have substance materials that have all sorts of attributes. We've got cardboard, glossy paper, all sorts of fun stuff here. And then we have, again, laundry list, lighting. We'll get into lighting once we start editing things, but you can, if you're familiar with the animation and 3D modeling space, manipulating the lighting really makes a difference in how realistic something looks or how dramatic something looks, and you can apply different light settings to what you're working on. Images, we have various background images and images that we can work from. In Dimension, you can import PNGs, JPEGs. I'll double check on Illustrator files, but I think you can import Illustrator files as well. So here's our working area. We've got some default logos that preload into Dimension, but when you bring in things for your projects, you can bring in your logos, your assets. You'll just have to bring it in as different image layers, and we'll put that together. A couple other areas I want to point out to you is our properties panel. So as we select and do things, so I'm just going to drag something to my work area here just so you guys can see what's happening. So here's a bottle, and when I have something selected, my properties panel is going to change. So I can manipulate that here. If I click the lid of the bottle, I can specify if I want to change the color of just the lid. I can specify attributes for that. the bottle itself, and the safety ring. So if I wanted to really customize the look of this bottle, I could do that on each of those three pieces. Okay, camera. So working with cameras is something that might be new to you, and it can be a little tricky. But if you go to your camera, you can edit the camera perspective. You can do that by clicking here. You can go back, forwards, really zoom in on it. You can tweak your focus area. You can also manipulate that here by selecting your orbit tool. So when you have your camera selected with your orbit tool, that will allow you to change viewpoints. So if you wanted to, for example, if you're mocking up a package and you want to show that from multiple viewpoints, you can actually do different camera bookmarks. So here, if I say camera bookmark, I can add that. I can say view one. Looks good to me. And then if I wanted to turn my bottle around here, maybe rotate it from, look at it a little bit more from this direction, I can add another bookmark and call that view 2. Okay, so now if I click view 1, I see this part of it. If I click view 2, I can see this part of it. And those, you can actually export both of those as individual images. Okay, so that is just a quick overview of the work area. Other things we'll chat about as we need them. Okay, so in the next step, we'll actually build something out together.